Hey, what's up, everybody? Good to be back with you again. And we're back in familiar territory, second place here, right behind Ilawa and Tolmata. 4 points after 2 matches, goal differential now of 2. We're over to play against Lionheart again. We're going to make one adjustment here, as this was recommended to me, and I think it's a good idea. We're going to go back here to a goalkeeper instead of having a sweeper keeper. See if that helps us a little bit in terms of trying to prevent goals from being scored. And we're going to push out here with this club. I think that this is probably our A team, our best squad. We'll see how this goes, though. These guys are probably feeling a little bit tired, but we'll see what happens here. We always want to continue playing well, blah, 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 whatever. I agree with, there was somebody on Twitter the other day who said that they thought there was too much press interaction in Football Manager. I definitely agree with that, because I feel like every single time I turn around, I'm answering some other press question about something that's really stupid and has nothing to do with what I'm focusing on. We are tied there with Viola Tongan. It has really been the three of us, Lau and Tomata, PanSa East, and Viola Tongan, who have been the three major main clubs here in the league the past, now going to the third season now. And hopefully we can distinguish ourselves here a little bit and get a big win, so we can continue to move our way up the ladder. And here is a corner for Viali. He steps back and he fires forward, and that was, I suppose, a near post corner that went to nobody, because we had nobody on the near post. Viali with it again, pops this one up, and it ends up over with Kalliope over to Maele for the goal. Somebody was asking me just the other day about whether we've had a lot of headers in for goals from our striker. We didn't last season. I don't think we had any. This season, I think that's the fourth one we've had from Maele in only 3 matches, and he's only played in 2 of them. This is really, really good by Kalliope. He heads that one over to Maele, who's starting to learn how to use his head, and that was a great goal. 1-0 PanSa East FC, and we're not even 2.5 minutes into the match. There's a potential question of offside. We'll take a look here, and not really much of a question. Maele did a great job of finding that ball and of getting over and getting onto it and of heading that one in very, very well, and that's what we like to see. And Viali, unfortunately for us, has come up injured. We're going to put Danny Newsila, the other Newsila, not Ene, who scored all those goals. Danny is going to be the one who's going to come in for him there in the center, and we'll see how that works. But that's kind of a sort of scary moment for us, because one of our better players has gone down. Tiatia goes back and grabs this throw over to Palipua, to Malani, over to Kalliope, and over to Newsila, back to Malani, who's playing further back than he usually does. And there is the header over to Maele, back to Malani, over to Newsila, over to Taituli, who knocks one up and over the goal, and that's going to be a whole bunch of nothing. And Toa Maele now has come up lame with an injury, and so we are going to have to bring him off, and we'll have to put in the other Newsila is going to be Ene, who comes on for him. And we've had a lot of bad luck here in the early going of this one. We're up 1-0, but we've seen a number of key players go down really, really early and quickly. Malani lumps this one forward for Kalliope, finds him, and it goes over to the other Newsila, who can't quite get his foot onto that one, and that ends up being knocked back and out. And we have lost possession a little bit easier than I wanted us to. This was a good forward-looking ball from Malani finding Kalliope, and it was good positioning, I would say, by the other Newsila, but couldn't quite get his foot around and onto that one. And Danny's going to have to do a little bit better than that. This is his first match for us, of course. He's going to be feeling a little bit frustrated. Famuana with the throw over to Danny, back to Famuana. Famuana over to Malani, who goes over and finds Rock Kalliope, who knocks that one into the stratosphere. And that's a problem that we've been seeing from time to time. We do look like we're in control of the match, and that's the thing that's important, but we're not scoring the goals the same way we have the last 2 matches. And that has me a little bit concerned. I'm hoping that we don't end up giving up a whole bunch of late goals the way that we have the last couple of games. Tai Laoli over to Malani, over to Kalliope. Rock's got it, knocks that one forward over for Tai Laoli, who has it, and he knocks over a cross that goes nowhere. Kalliope with it over to Tiatia, who wasn't looking for it, but Palipua is back there to prevent the counterattack. Kalliope ends up winning that one back over to the other Kalliope. Tiatia with it now. Tiatia plays a little bit over to Kalliope, down to Rock. Rock's got it, and boy, that's a good pass, and Ene should have scored that one. That's being called for offside. He should have scored that one anyway. He had really, really good positioning on that one, and that's a little frustrating he doesn't score that one, but this is why we're happy to have some good players here, and that's a real dangerous header back to Kuvalu. Man, oh man, that's a cause for concern. Palipua with the ball now, up to Tiatia. Tiatia has it over right side, brings it up forward over to Rock, back to Tiatia, over to the other Kalliope. Kalliope with it, and lumps this one forward over for Tyler Louis. Tyler Louis got it, and he's onside apparently over to Milani, back to Danny, and he knocks that one up over everyone's head into the light fixtures again. So as I've said before, this is the same problem that we've seen time and time again, and we're going to have to hopefully see a little bit of change here. Calliope, not sure which one it is, over to Tia, down to Rock. There's Rock. And he has the ball taken away from him really easily, but then he just about wins it back, not quite able to. And this is a problem for us. Tagai for them with the shot, and then Rock Calliope can't quite get onto that one. That is blocked. Good defensive play by whoever that was, and is back with Danny, who's fouled from behind. Should be a yellow card, but they're not going to give it. And Palipua lumps this one forward. That's a poor pass. He's looking for Tyler Louis, but he's knocked that one straight back to the defense, and we've once again given up possession really, really easily. And it is Twa with this ball for Lionheart over to Sione, and ends up with Tagai with it. And that was a good block, two of them by Palipua, who had his head turned for the first one, but somehow managed to get right in the way of that either pass or shot. Kind of hard to tell what that was. As Latu here with the corner, and that's lumped forward. And Tuala Lele is able to knock that one back, and it's Ikuvali who grabs this one here as that shot is deflected. Good play there by Tuala Lele, and they have it for a goal kick again. So we've had some sort of attack that went nowhere, and we keep sort of knocking the ball back and hoping that somebody grabs onto it. Not really what we want to be doing. Tuala Lele with it, and he plays that one far, far too nonchalantly, and we end up giving up a corner in the end. And that was really, really poor from Tuala Lele, who needs to be a little bit more alert and needs to know where he is. He gets onto this corner, though, and is able to head that one forward, and then heads it forward again after another cross. Let's see if we can stop another one here, and I'm not sure if we can. Fortunately for us, though, they lose control, and that's out for a goal kick. So we're really feeling the pressure now as Lionheart is coming back and is throwing everything that they have at us. It's Danny Nuisila who comes down with this one. He's going to try for a counterattack and just runs into the other player's foot. Palipua heads this one forward and out, but is that going to be enough? Maybe not, and it's a goal kick for PanSa East FC. Fortunately for us, they decide to try for a very low percentage shot. And so those two injuries are really hurting us as we're missing sort of that goal-scoring oomph where it's almost like we're not here. I haven't seen much by way of a offensive attack. Danny is able to win that one. He's a good player, winning everything midfield over to Rock. Rock knocks this one forward over to Tyler Louis, and he should have passed that. He had Ene right in front of him, and he had his man beat. I'm very surprised that he wasn't able to see that. Ene then heads this one forward to nobody. That's a problem that we've seen with so many strikers here in our seasons at PanSa East FC. Moana over finds Tyler Louis over to Milani, over to Calliope, down to Rock. Rock with it, passes up to Tia. Tia's got it. And lumps this one forward, looking for Ene, who just misses that one. That would have been an easy goal if he had been able to get a little bit above their keeper. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite have that heading reach, and Palipua ends up making a mistake, heading that one straight at the attacking player. Fortunately for us, that shot was off target, but that's a really poor mistake by Palipua. Rock with it, knocks it up to Ene. Ene's got it. Back pass there to Danny. Danny brings this one forward. He's got a cross, and there's the cross over to Rock, and Ene is down, sitting there on the ground. I'm not sure what's happening. He's been injured, and the game has completely stopped here as we try to deal with him and figure out what's going on. We are losing players left and right here. This will be the third injury in the first half, and so we can't really do very much with it with the doctor there on the pitch, and Ene's having a look at everything, and here comes that corner over for the other Calliope, and that will end it. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here, and was Ene even touched by anybody is the question. Nuisila, no, he wasn't touched by anybody. Look at that, he just falls down, and he hurt himself somehow, and can't really do much of anything with it, so that's going to be the end of his match, and let's see what we can do from here on out. Another injury, another frustrating time in this match. Do we have enough players on the bench? Do we have somebody else who can play strikers? The question. Danny Nuisila can play striker, and that's probably what we're going to put him. We'll have Ene switch with Milani, who will play up forward, and we're going to bring on Stedolf Collins. And so this is definitely not the way that I normally would want these guys to play, but we kind of have to do it since we've lost two strikers to injuries. And I didn't see what happened to Toa Maile, but Ene just sort of fell apart on his own accord and looked pretty bad, and it might actually be a major problem, and we're going to have to see what we can do. We're hoping to hold on to this one with that 1-0 lead. We have a definitely untried striker is Danny. I don't know if he can score anything. I don't know much about him. I mean, this was, I think, his first game. Tualolele over to Tailaului. Tailaului with it and knocks that one forward. That was a good cross, but just couldn't find an offensive player. Tia with it over to Rock, who knocks that one forward. That is a much worse cross by Rock. I don't think he was intending to hit that one straight to their goalkeeper. And Palipua is able to almost get rid of the nonsense, but not quite. And you got to get back there. Palipua in a really, really poor position for that. Fortunately, Tia is able to get in front of that shot. But Palipua made a mistake and really should have gotten back there on time and didn't. And that's a foul there as Collins was fouled from behind. That's the end of the highlight. Palipua was able to sort of head that one back, but he keeps heading it back at the opposition players, which is definitely an issue, and it's something that we need to deal with and figure out a way around. We do have good cohesion as a squad, but sometimes you could fool me. Kalliope here with the shot, and that looks a little bit more like it. That's the first shot I've seen from us in quite some time. Gives us a corner. And we have the corner up and ready to go now. And here's Famuana with it, knocks it forward over to Tualolele, who hits it back to Famuana, and he's called for offside. I'm not quite sure about that call. I thought that he was pretty clearly onside, as the angle of the pass looked for me like it went backwards, but I don't. My opinion doesn't count in this situation. And Tagai has got to be offside, and he scores that. Matthew Tagai, that is, not Mark Tagai, who's our former player. And now they're going to call that as onside, so they're saying that one was okay. And we're in trouble now as we have given up yet another goal off of a counter attack. And I don't know. He looks offside to me. Once again, I mean, I've been saying this all along. We have a problem there in the back, and part of the problem is that Palipua is not getting back fast enough and really not having the best match. He has a 7.0 rating, but I've been really frustrated with him hitting the ball to opposing players and not getting back fast enough. Fortunately for us, they don't have a header that's on target. 1-1 now the score, and this is definitely cause for alarm. And you can look at the replay of this. Collins for them really had not a very good place to knock that ball. He sort of hit a prayer of a cross, and now we're really on the back heel. Let's see if we can get forward and around to this. Tia is able to head that one, but Collins' header is not quite far back enough, and that was almost another goal. That was very, very close, and we're in trouble. We are in trouble. Our players are fired up and motivated by the feedback, but we are seeing some pretty poor performances. And in fact, I think I'm going to take Tailaului out here in a second, since he's really not been doing much. And Ikuvalu, fortunately for us, able to grab that one. Tailaului will come off for Pedro Palipua. That will give us the second Palipua here on the pitch. We only have about 20 minutes left to get another goal. And that's exactly the opposite of what I want the goalie to do. And we've been having a lot of problems with that. I may have to go back and take a look once again and make sure that we have the instructions set up right. Rock with it over to Milani, down to Tia with him. We're holding on to possession a little bit better now. Over to Kalliope, and I'm not sure what that was. That was, I'm not sure what he was trying to do. There was nobody there. Collins with it now. Knocks this up over to Tailaului, who's about to come off. Tailaului over to Milani. Good position for Milani, and he has it over to Danny. And see, that's the problem. He's not really a striker. He ends up having his shot blocked away. And we need to have a striker who's an actual striker. We're going to skip through this highlight, this replay, and unfortunately that takes just about everything away. So we have had, I think, 4 substitutions, 4 or 5 so far today, and we've had players dropping like flies. Famuana here knocks this corner up over to Tualolele, who almost scores that one, and that was... barely headed away by Sione at the last moment for Lionheart, and I mean, this isn't too bad. We're getting something going, but we're in trouble now. Once again, they have numbers, and we are doing a very poor job of defending. Fortunately for us, Viali was called for offside, and his shot was into the side netting anyway, and so we got to hope for something a little bit better here. Alpha Famuana having a poor match, and we're having a couple poor matches left and right here. And this is going to end up being a draw, I'm pretty sure, unless they score here on the last kick of the game, and they don't. And that ends up clattering off of Palipua, one of the two, and this is going to be probably the end of it here. They do get the corner. We're 5 minutes into the 4 minutes of added time, and there's no need to see this. It's not a clear-cut chance. I don't know why the game thinks that it is, because they weren't even close. And so Salah is taking his time and then knocks this one forward and is headed back, and that's got to be the end. And that is the end, and it's a pretty poor match. Again, we have just about 60% of possession. We had 19 shots, 4 on target. We outpaced them in everything, but we did give up a goal, and we had some problems in the back. Our biggest problem, though, were the injuries, and that's the end of this one. So another good match. I would say that we do have a good team. 81% passes completed. We're making forward progress. We're getting shots on. We just need to have players who actually can play in their positions. That was our problem today. Too many injuries, and that's it for that. We'll talk with you tomorrow. Bye.